Microsoft plans to spend $5 billion over 2 years to bolster Australia's cybersecurity, cloud computing and AI capabilities. Let's go to North American Bureau Chief Jade McMillan in Washington. Jade, can you tell us some more about this announcement?
Well, there are several main aspects to this spending announcement by Microsoft and the federal government. The first is that the company will open more local data centres in Australia. These are used to support its cloud computing and its artificial intelligence capabilities. And the number of those centres in Sydney, Melbourne and Canberra will rise from 20 to 29. The second is around skills, and this announcement includes a partnership with TAFE New South Wales to open a training academy. That comes with a promise to train 200 people in its first 2 years. And then the third element is around cyber security and a pledge that Microsoft will work closely with Australia's cybersecurity agency, the Australian Signals Directorate, to better identify and try to prevent cyber threats and then respond to them when they do happen. The Prime Minister alluded to some of the more recent cyber attacks in Australia as he made this announcement at the Australian Embassy in Washington.
We know, because we've seen through the examples in Australia, the impact that a cyber attack can have. This will strengthen Australia's capacity to resist such attacks, but also to identify potential weaknesses which are there.
Jade, what else is on the agenda for the Prime Minister's visit in the US?
Well, this is the first full day of the 4-day trip. Mr Albanese began today with a visit to Arlington National Cemetery. He paid his respects there, including to 2 Australians who are honoured at that cemetery. Francis D. Milne, an RAAF officer who died while serving with a US aircrew in Papua New Guinea in 1942, and also Yvonne Kennedy, who was on the American Airlines flight that was hijacked and crashed into the Pentagon on September 11. Later on in this trip, Anthony Albanese is expected to sit down with President Joe Biden. They have a meeting scheduled in the Oval Office and also a formal dinner at the White House. You'd expect that the situation in the Middle East would feature heavily in those discussions between the two leaders, coming not long after President Biden's visit to Israel. Another big issue for Mr Albanese while he's here, of course, is AUKUS legislation that is needed to progress that arrangement under which Australia will obtain nuclear-powered submarines has stalled in the US Congress, partly due to concerns about America's own shipbuilding capacity and also the complicated set of export controls that will need to be changed to allow the transfer of sensitive technology to Australia. Hopes of the Prime Minister perhaps addressing a joint session of Congress appear dashed at this stage, at least, due to the chaos on Capitol Hill that is still ongoing. The House of Representatives still does not have a Speaker after Kevin McCarthy was kicked out nearly 3 weeks ago. Mr Albanese, though, insisting today that he does have a series of other meetings lined up with legislators, and he is confident that those hurdles in Congress can be overcome.
Jade McMillan, thank you.